Hello everyone, the 316 here with another Mcfarlane Toys DC Multiverse review. I got three different Batman related figures. They each came out at different times. On the left here we have the Batman vs. Superman Batman. In the middle we have Cassandra, Cain, Batgirl. And on the right we have the Year 1 Batman. All of these figures retailed for, I want to say, $22.99 give or take. These two might have actually been like $19.99. A little hazy on that. Anyway, he came out around March, and then both of these two came out recently around April, May, late April, early May. I've had this Batman for a while, if you saw my short about the Columbus Toy Game Show. Anyway, let's go ahead and start off with their accessories. So, Batman vs. Superman card. Here it is. And there's a back for you. Pretty standard stuff. Next up we got Cassandra Cain's card here. And there's the read up on that. And lastly we have the Detective Comics Batman here. One thing to point out is that they don't have this guy's hand with a gun right here. They had to edit that out. Apparently guns are not allowed in the artwork as well. I don't know. Don't ask me. But there's the back of that for you. Alright, so that's all of their cards. And of course they each come with a display stand, the standard. We'll take a look at the boxes next. So basically it just has their art card on the back, and it just says what figure it is called. Here's the barcode for first appearance of Batman if you're looking for that. And then here's the gold label Target exclusive Cassandra Cain Batgirl. Same box, there's the barcode if you need that one. Same thing with the artwork. And Batman here, he's no different either. There's the barcode for him and the artwork from the card. Just your standard stuff, nothing interesting to see. Alright, so they each come with quite a decent amount of accessories. Let's start off with BvS Batman. He comes with his grapnel gun here, which I have in his right hand. It's unpainted, but looks pretty good. He also comes with two fisted hands, one for each side, and two grabby hands, one for each side. Is it a trigger finger hand? It is a trigger finger hand. Here's that a little bit up close, and then here's the fist up close. Come on, focus. There you go. And then he comes with two really thick batarangs. These are, like, seriously, these are like very thick. Like, he can hold them, but like not easily. You kind of have to just shove it in there. It's not great. All right, Cassandra Cain here comes with a batarang, which is better. I kind of wish they gave it to him because like he can actually hold it. It is smaller, yeah, but like it's much thinner as well. He can easily hold this one. And she also comes with a grapnel gun, which kind of actually looks like a pistol, to be honest. We have seen this before, but I am going to take that one off for the rest of the review. And then first appearance Batman here comes with the most accessories. So he comes with some newly sculpted, like, surrendering hands. They are nicely sculpted, but they just don't look great. They're too big, too clunky. He comes with two fisted hands here. I believe these are new sculpts. I could be wrong though, at least on these gloves, because I know that these really terrible grabby hands, they can't even hold on to his wrench here, which is his last accessory. These are reused. Somehow I was able to get the wrench to just kind of like friction hold in there. Like he'll hold it, but it doesn't look like he's actually holding it properly. But there's that. So that's all of their accessories out of the way, and I want to take a look at BvS Batman here first. So he's done pretty well. He comes with a cloth goods cape. It does not have a wire, but these two do. I think that the gold paint here is nice. They also gave it a black wash. Depending on the figure you get, it might look good, but in mine, the forearm here, they just kind of missed it. Over here, it's not as noticeable. But over here, it's like very noticeably not black washed because of how dark this section is. This side's good, this side not so much. I also like that the gray here has a slight bit of a like a purple to it. It's just a touch of like lilac in there. That's good. Maybe that's the black wash. I'm not sure. The gauntlets look good here. What you'd expect. Looks not too bad. And the legs here, those are also black wash. There's the boots for you. Give you a good look at those. Kind of hard to see because it's all black, but here's the back. As you can see, they didn't wash it in black paint at all. Kind of lame. This material reminds me of like an underwear material. Like it's fine enough to the touch, but yeah. One thing I do want to point out is that his head, I actually swapped out his neck peg for the Walmart exclusive Dark Flash figure, so his head sits lower on here. I did try to use a different headstock, but it was way too low and he had no movement. But with this one, he still retains a good amount of movement, and it doesn't feel like it's going to break the figure or his head's going to pop off. Speaking of which, let's get a closer look at that face sculpt. I don't think it's bad, but we have seen better Ben Affleck face sculpts for this particular Batman. Yeah, good figure. Decent amount of articulation. What's most important here is the crunch is actually pretty good. He can crunch pretty far forward, and I do like that. I don't think he gets any... He gets a little bit of twist up there, but not much. Yeah, everything else is kind of your standard articulation for Mcfarlane, so I don't want to get too deep into that. Good figure. Pretty much all new sculpt as far as I'm aware. I don't think anything's reused. Next up, Cassandra Cain here. She is pretty much all reuse except her cape and her head sculpt. So the cape here, as I said, is actually wired. So you can have it in... Ooh, yeah, she has problems with her feet. I was just saying this in a prior review, that all my Mcfarlane figures have issues with their ankles. Oh, anyway, but yeah, you can see that it holds a pose, and unlike the Batman we will see here, it actually has a bit of sway forward and backward, so you can, move it backward and then, do some of that if you want to. Sometimes it doesn't want to hold the pose, but, you get the idea. It's a nice wired cape, and it's going to look great for however you want to display it. Now, she doesn't have any folds in her cape. It's all just one piece that's been cut out, which is fine. But, great wingspan on this cape. Like, it is wide. Like, it takes up my whole screen. Like, give you an idea. It's giant. Love that. But yeah, you can... It's pretty freely flexible. Bend it however you like. Do something like that if you wanted to. Yeah, but this is I think the gold standard here. $22.99 action figure, and it has a wired cape. I do worry that over time the wire might break, especially if you're very forceful with it. So just be careful about that. Now this figure is pretty much all reused from I think it's 3 Jokers and the original Batgirl figure, and I think the Bat Family 5-pack. They all use kind of the same body and everything. So like you can see kind of like the boots that have the bat ears and the wings there, and same thing with the wrist gauntlets there. And the belt, that's also reused from that. Kind of wish that they actually gave her the one that's on the card. Oh well. And then there's the back of the figure for you to give you an idea. Let's see here. The head sculpt, that is also new, and it looks great. I have no issues with that. Some people had issue with the logo here. I mean, I think it looks fine. Some people said that it's like too dark gray. They'd prefer it to be all black. I don't know. I think it makes it stand out a bit more. I mean, I don't think it looks bad at all, myself personally. Articulation-wise, you get, pretty much the standard stuff. One thing I do want to say is that this figure is like all legs. Like, it may not come off on camera, but like her legs go up to like his legs, which is awful. Like, her torso is much smaller than her legs. Whereas these two are a bit more proportionate, even though they're still a little off, but yeah, you see what I mean. Alright, I'm going to reposition the cape here. Oh, right, articulation, let's see. Kind of a bit of twist there, and not really all that much crunch. So there's that for you. It's the first time I've gotten this mold, and it's alright. Still, the legs just bother me so much. Alright, and the last figure here is the first appearance Batman. I've been excited to get this one to pair with my Platinum Superman. We will see that in a minute, but let's take a look at this figure here. This is mostly a reuse of the Green Lantern Batman upper body, a new belt, a new head, and I think the rest is all Hush reuse. I think that's the formula for this. As you can see, he also comes with a wired cape, but this one does have the fold marks in it, which I do like. It feels a little bit more rigid, but also moves much better. Now, unlike, Cassandra's, where she can, she has a bit of sway forward and back, there is no sway to this one. Like, I cannot move it forward without curling this up at the top. And when I try to bend this wire, like, forward, it just barely wants to do it. Like, I really have to, put some force into that, whereas hers was very free. I could easily do it. I think that's just an issue with the material and the wire. So Cassandra's wire is definitely a little bit thicker compared to this Batman's. Like, I can just barely feel the wire in this section, whereas with Cassandra's, I can feel the wire very easily. But, you can get some inward, poses like that, but I do have issue with trying to do that. So, like, if I wanted to bend it here, trying to get it to actually just bend the way I want it to is not the easiest. I really have to push down on this piece. To get something like that, it takes a lot more effort than doing it on Cassandra's. At least that's what I saw, like I said. But, he does have the wired cape, so you can have him with some, nice fun poses if you want to. His wingspan I don't think is as big as Cassandra's, but it's still pretty nice and respectable. Trying to get it all on camera there. Yeah, his is definitely a little bit smaller, but that's alright. Yeah, there's the back again for you. Now, I do have the issue with this figure being a bit disproportionate, and, for some people, they don't like that they use this body mold for first appearance Batman, and I kind of agree with it. I think it is a little too bulky, but I do think Nightfall's a little too thin, too lean. I wish they would do like a happy medium Batman body, because like this one's too tall, the other one's good, but it's too small for like, beefcake wise, right? Anyway, articulation's just like the other Batman figures, basically no crunch, and actually a pretty good amount of thigh swivel. That is a surprise. Everything else we've seen before. He does have the issue with the hole in his neck there, but it's not as bad as Green Lantern Batman's. This one is much less noticeable. It's still there, but not as bad. The head sculpt looks pretty good, although they did overspray the flesh tone a bit too much on my figure. But the Bat logo looks good as well. And, there's the back of the figure. Get a good look at that. So, yeah, good figure. He looks good. But I'm mostly interested to see how he looks with some other figures in the collection. So, with that, those three being looked at in depth, let's go ahead and move on to our size comparisons. Batfleck here stands at... Ooh, ruler's upside down. Try that again. Just above 7 inches, 7 at the top of his head, just a little higher with the ears. Cassandra Cain here, she stands at 6 3/4. Batman first appearance stands at over 7.5 from the top of his head, a little bit taller with the ears. All right, let's see, who do I want to start with? Let's start with a movie Batman here. We got the Batman, Robert Pattinson. Let's get another lady in here. We got the Platinum Catwoman figure from The Dark Knight Rises. I got two for the one on the right here. We have the Collector's Green Lantern Batman. Looks to be the same upper torso, but I could be wrong. Pretty sure it's molded the same. Yeah, I think the upper torsos are the same. But, you know, everything else is the Three Jokers mold. And lastly, what I'm most interested to see is my Superman #1. Oh, yeah, that looks good. That's... Yeah, you know, it sucks that I didn't get the platinum for this guy, but honestly, I don't care, you know. But yeah, seeing those two next to each other is just like, yeah, this is right. I'll have to pair these two with my Jay Garrick and, oh, actually, I do have, now that I think about it, I do have my Alan Scott on hand, so, you know, I could do a classic-inspired Justice League if I wanted to. Stay tuned for Alan's review. Anyway, that's them compared to some other DC Multiverse figures. Let's get all of these guys out of the way, and Catwoman. And let's see how they look next to some other lines. And starting off with Mcfarlane DC Multiverse, we got another Batman here. We got the gold label Arkham City Batman. This screen's about to get very full, so I'm trying to rearrange it so it doesn't look as bad, and I can fit everyone on there. We got the Build-A-Figure Atrocitus as well. Their capes take up a lot of room. Like, they take up a lot of room. Alright, Halo, the Spartan Collection, Spartan Yoroi from Jazzwares. Speaking of Jazzwares, we got the AEW Unrivaled Samoa Joe. We'll stick him there. And on the other side, we got the Mattel Elite 100 John Cena. Alright, that's all of our 7-inch scaled lines. Let's go on to our 6-inch scaled lines. Starting off with Marvel Legends, we have the Scarlet Spider from the Retro card. We got the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Dino Thunder Black. G.I. Joe Classified Tiger Force Outback. Trying to get him in frame. There you go. And lastly here, we have our Boba Fett from the Star Wars Black Series. So, of these three figures, I definitely think that Cassandra Cain is worth your time. First appearance Batman is good, has some issues, mainly the wrench not fitting in the grabby hands. I don't know why they reused those hands if he couldn't hold his wrench. Ugh. Anyway, but, you know, he's got the wired cape, Cassandra's got the wired cape, and while Batfleck doesn't have a wired cape, he still has a cloth cape, which is, you know, still better than a plastic cape for some people. Personally, I don't care if I get cloth or plastic. As long as it looks flush with the figure, I think that's what matters more. Yeah, Cassandra and first appearance Batman should be easier to find. Batfleck has been out for a little while, but don't overpay for him. He's still pretty easily able to be found. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments down below of the three figures I reviewed, which one is your favorite. Personally, for me, I think it's the Batgirl, even though her legs are too tall. Don't forget to leave a like on this video, subscribe, and hit the bell. It all helps out the channel. And as always,